hello everybody. Going live. Y'all know I usually don't do a live stream unless, I'm a bit concerned with things. So I wanted to just do a live update here with some of the newest models that the Storm Prediction Center has released out, and also explain a little bit of what we, do expect to happen. So good to see everybody. I don't think I'll get a lot of people on, so we're going to get right into it. Right now, let's take a quick look outside at the radar, and of course not showing much of anything, just some showers off around Rome, Georgia, just some scattered stuff out across the area. Nothing of concern at the moment. Now let's get on into what we are originally talking about, and that is the newest updates, and that was just issued out a little while ago by the Storm Prediction Center. This is their newest outlook, and they have went ahead and put all of northern Alabama in a level 2. So no matter where you're at in North Alabama, you're now in a level 2 risk. That includes northeast Alabama too, Dekalbcwx and Marshall counties. That includes all of us here. So we do have that threat of some damaging winds, some large hail, and even a few tornadoes. We've moved up from level 1 to level 2 now, with level 3 enhanced risk being anywhere from Birmingham south and west. Pretty much the further southwest you go, the worse it gets, especially if you're in, I'm going to say that's southwest Mississippi and southern Mississippi there. Not exactly sure of the counties or anything there because I'm not familiar with Mississippi, but level 4, that's usually stuff you see in the spring, to be honest. You usually don't see moderate risk coming out in the winter time. I mean, look at that. That's stuff you would see in the springtime. Level 4, give you an idea just how high that is. Level 5 is as high as it goes, and the last time we was at a level 5 was in 2011, April 27, 2011. Was the last time that I remember us being under a high risk like that. So thankfully, though, it is still southwest. We're still watching the progression of a warm front that is moving to the north. And as we discussed, it really depends on how far north that warm front was able to make it, and if it could pull that energy north with it. And according to the model's thinking, it's going to pull that energy further northeast as it continues to move on in. So it's going to make its way on up. Now let's look at the tornado perimeter. We'll grab that on up really quick, and of course they've upgraded us to a 5%, correct my saying there, 5% risk of tornadoes all of North Alabama, no matter where you're at, northeast Alabama, northwest. If you're in North Alabama, it really don't matter where you're at. There's a 5% risk of tornadoes. Everybody knows we've had tornadoes with 2% risk days, so 5% I'm a little more concerned about. Now, 10% risk, that's a hatched area. Very concerning. That's why I have a plus there on it. There's a 10% plus risk of them seeing some violent tornadoes there around Birmingham, southwest toward Tuscaloosa, and on into Mississippi. So down there, you guys better be paying attention. Now, further southwest, this is going to be west of Montgomery. Now, that's west of Montgomery, not on Montgomery. If you're in Montgomery, you're at a 5% risk. If you're in Greenville, you're in a 5% risk. But this is west of y'all. There's a 10% risk, and then further west toward the state line there between Mississippi and Alabama, you got a level, I believe that's a level 4 risk there of some nasty tornadoes. Some of those could be large. EF2, EF3, long track tornadoes there. Would not doubt at all if we don't see something like that down there. Thankfully, in our area, though, all we expect here is a few isolated supercells that could start rotating. That is something I've been watching on the models. It did predict a few of them that started rotating in northeast Alabama. So, or basically in North Alabama as that was moving across. So we'll have to keep an eye on those if they do start rotating. Make sure you have a way to receive warnings. This is going to be tomorrow night. Timing is still going to be adjusted. So I just wanted to go live and let you know that. Now we're going to move on there was one more thing I was supposed to move on to, and somehow it got just completely thrown out of the way here. We'll get back to that here in a minute. Let's get to the winds there. So 30% chance of damaging winds. That's significant risk. 30-plus risk down there in the red. Hatched risk especially. That's going to include areas of Mobile, Tuscaloosa. Birmingham is just slightly outside of that risk, but it's close enough that I went ahead and said Birmingham too. Very large area of damaging wind potential there. Pretty high. That's level 4. Level 5 is as high as it goes, so that's pretty high. Could be some damaging winds 60 to 70 miles per hour with higher gusts in those areas. Elsewhere, all of North Alabama under a threat of 15% threat of damaging winds These winds should range in the 60 mile per hour range, but I will not rule out a gust to 65 with some of those stronger cells as they move through. So that is the potential that we're watching. Now let's talk about all these colors, because I know a lot of people are going to be confused by what in the world is with all these colors. You know, what do they mean? So keep in mind the green means marginal, which means some storms could be capable of damaging winds and severe hail. Isolated tornado threat could develop. That is with the green. Okay, now moving to level 2, that's going to be a slight risk, which is what all of North Alabama is under now. Increasing confidence that some storms will contain damaging winds, severe hail, and or, tornado potential. A few severe storms could be severe storms could be significant. So we get into level 2, we get a little higher up. So we're watching that. Level 3, even higher. That's going to be enhanced risk in the orange. High confidence that several storms will contain damaging winds, severe hail, and or tornadoes. Several of those could be significant. So level 3, but we're not done yet. Moving on to level 4. Those of you in the red, that's moderate. High confidence that many storms will contain damaging winds, some severe hail, and tornadoes. Several likely could be, significant and be long track tornadoes. That could be the area that they could see some long track tornadoes in. It stays on the ground for a while. That gets pretty large. So again, we'll run back over that look at the tornadoes. Again, move that model back. 5% risk for all of North Alabama. So thankfully, the heaviest stuff is still southwest. There will still be some adjustments to these models as we get on into tomorrow. But right now, 5% risk. There will be a tornado watch going up for the southwest portions sometime tomorrow. I can't say when, don't know. There could potentially, depending on the conditions in the atmosphere, if they continue to show signs of tornadic activity in North Alabama tomorrow, then there could be the threat of a tornado watch being issued. But we just don't know that far ahead what's going to do. But there is the possibility. It depends. There's a lot of dependence going on there. We just don't know that yet. If the National Weather Service will do that, that will depend a lot. So, we don't know. But for certain, if you're down to the southwest, there's going to be some kind of watch issued up. More than likely a tornado watch for Mississippi areas. You guys are going to be under the gun down there in Mississippi, southern Mississippi. And even Alabama, parts there, the very far southwest portion of Alabama there, in the red. So far southwest portion there in between Alabama and Mississippi could be some pretty nasty stuff. Some of those long trackers could move through that area too, because you're still in the level. Oh my goodness, that's going to be level 3, 10% risk there. So with level 4 being in the red. So that being said, we're going to be keeping an eye on things here. Thanks so much, and we will take a look at the timing as well. Now this is subject to change. And, it is subject to change. Keep in mind, this is old. I'm just going to tell you. This is an old model that was made hours ago. So it has yet to update. This is all we've got to go by. 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday. That's going to be for Florence and Russellville. 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Saturday into Sunday. That's going to be Huntsville, Coleman, Fayetteville areas. That's along I-65. To the east there, finishing off northeast Alabama, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. That'll be for DeKalb, Jackson, Marshall counties. So as that gets out of here. And discussion, PDS watch, there is a possibility that there could be a PDS watch go up for down there in the red. That is a possibility. That is usually in a rare case scenario that they issue a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. Usually that don't happen in the spring, winter. Sorry. Usually that don't happen in the winter, but in the spring it has happened. It will depend on a lot. There is a possibility that they could be some kind of watch like that go up. More than likely it'll be a regular watch, but in a rare case scenario it could be a PDS watch. They don't use those unless they have got high confidence of a outbreak, and usually when there's an outbreak, which they're predicting, you would issue a PDS, particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. So hope that did help. Hope it helped everybody understand. Stay weather aware. Make sure you have multiple ways to go to get warnings. Sorry, I'm sleepy. to get warnings, and of course, like and subscribe, because we will be going live if we get any severe weather. Of course, that's what I was trying to get out secondly. So have a good night, everybody. We'll update again tomorrow. That is what we've got right now. So take care, stay weather aware, make sure you have ways to receive warnings, and have a great night. We'll see you next time, everybody. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. Also, want to give a shout out before I forget. Let me turn this down a little bit. Also want to give a shout out to Mr. Dylan Snyder, our sponsor there at Alabama Living Real Estate. For all your real estate needs, you can give him a call at 256-979-4330. Thank you so much, Mr. Dylan Snyder, for helping us keep everything updated and keeping everything going. So we really appreciate you there. All right, everybody, final time. Good night. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.